Hi, cuties. Guess what I just watched?
Pedophile. Pedophile.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Crow, part-time YouTuber, part-time guy with an eternal cold. I'm like really stuffed up today, but as I discussed on the stream last night, this Kris Tyson story is absolutely insane. And I wanted to go back to the beginning where a lot of the drama with Kris Tyson started, which is when they had transitioned and everything. They had come out. Sunny V2 had made this video, and it was lambasted by a lot of the LGBTQ people and their allies coming out and being like, what do you mean the situation? I mean, obviously a grown man who, you know, leaves his wife to become a woman and stop being a father and become mommy. That's the situation, right? As much as people hate this word, it's not something that is normal in society. It is more on the fringe because there's not that many trans people, so not a lot of people would understand that situation. That's the most neutral way I can say this to explain it to people, and I'm sure someone will be upset with me using the term normal. So it is what it is. But when Sunny V2 had made this video, it wasn't talking about what a horrible degenerate Kris Tyson is and how being trans is inherently problematic. It was more like people are going to react to this and it is going to potentially impact MrBeast's channel. Him just doing that, you can see the like to dislike ratio. This is very uncommon for a Sunny V2 video. And I can obviously tell Sunny V2 did not go and do a deep dive on Kris Tyson's character, because had he have done that, he would have found a bunch more things that actually make Kris Tyson out to be a complete and utter degenerate. And all of that is starting to come back up to the surface again, roughly about, I would say a little over a year after this whole drama first began. Now, it's not like nobody knew about this, right? It's not like nobody knew about this. In fact, there's a high profile figure, like more on the right wing side of things, who pointed out Kris Tyson's obsession with lolicon, but it was universally ignored by everybody on like the other side of this issue because they had to defend the trans person. And I'm going to be completely upfront. I do not think Kris Tyson coming out as trans has anything to do with their predilections, because all of this comes from well before they had transitioned. This is just who Kris has always been. Well, I guess they would argue that Kris has always been trans, so hey, you figure that argument out for yourself. But I want to just go back to this first video for a quick second, just to show you the like to dislike ratio and what the reaction was, just for saying that, hey, this might impact MrBeast's channel. Now, to be as clear as I possibly can at this point, right now, what Kris Tyson is being exposed for, now that it's been kind of separated from the rest of it, this will absolutely impact MrBeast's channel for several reasons. One, Kris Tyson is going to like the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards with MrBeast as MrBeast guest, because they are one of MrBeast's friends. Sorry, I'm talking kind of fast, so if I screw up pronouns, I will be as careful as I can for YouTube's sake. But it's going to be the fact that because Jimmy has a channel, and I'm not saying it's solely for children, but largely kids do watch MrBeast videos, and it's a good thing because MrBeast does great stuff with his video content. But because of that, you have a large child audience, and they are exposed to Kris Tyson. And when they're exposed to Kris Tyson and they go online and they go through Kris Tyson's social media, they could have found the exact same things that are being exposed right now. In fact, I would have to guess that at this point, I would hope at least, Kris has deleted it, not because I want them covering up evidence. I mean, it's already out there. People have archived it. But because, yes, there are children that do follow this person, and, you know, they should not be exposed to the artwork of Shadman, which is where all of this really just blows up. So this is a YouTuber known as Adrox, and I'm actually been fascinated by this. So he's let me drop a like here. And Adrox, like he was well, I mean he still technically is, but he had a pretty small channel when he decided to put together a really well edited video, like good production quality, so it's easy to watch, it's short, and it gets right to the heart of all the details. But this video blew up. When I looked at it yesterday, it was like 400,000 views. It's at 540,000 views today. I would imagine that potentially this will be a video with 1 million views pretty soon. And that's great for Adrox because it's good to inform people of this. But also at the same time, other YouTubers have not been covering it, except for people in the small, and I mean very small commentary space. For instance, Adrox gives credit to this YouTuber known as Prism42. And I'm going to guess there's a reason why people might have an issue with him, because he used EDP as a source to give him information on certain things. So obviously people aren't going to be very happy about that. But you know, as the old saying goes, it takes a pedo to know one. So anyways, good on these two for putting this stuff together. And there were others, just to be clear, but it was not anyone with like these large channels trying to expose this. And if I had to guess, it would probably be because what happened when Sunny V2 made a very neutral take on Kris Tyson transitioning, and that was it. If you saw this reaction and you have a large channel, you're probably going like, well, I don't want to go up against the LGBTQ mafia on YouTube right now. But yeah, because of that, you kind of let someone with a really degenerate history go slipping right through your fingers. Now, the reason why, or the other reason why I believe this is something that MrBeast really cannot walk away from is one of the pieces of art that Adrox had pointed out. That he said he had this drawing of Shadman. He shows another tweet where Kris has the image, like the actual photo printed out and everything. And, you know, you could still say, oh, well, you know, that's just a joke. That's just a joke. This is a video on MrBeast's channel, right? From 6 years ago, where Shadman's art is literally hanging from their wall. And I mean, I guess you could try to cope with, oh, they put it up there as an Easter egg for people 6 years later. No, definitely not. This is something that Kris Tyson does enjoy. Kris Tyson is a lolicon. Kris Tyson likes drawn CP. And when I say that, I mean, the person who drew this image has used actual minors, including like Keemstar's 7-year-old daughter and others, right, to do like really disgusting adult images. Just I gotta be as careful as I can when I say that. And it's worse for Kris Tyson because he admits to, well, actually not, he didn't just admit to going on Shadman's website. He went to Shadman's website during one of his live streams. So Kris Tyson definitely enjoys drawn CP, like straight up hardcore lolicon content. And there's no walking away from that because MrBeast, stupidly enough, had one of the images featured in his video. And if you want to go, well, it was 6 years ago. Yeah, he did it. And he brings Kris Tyson around kids. So you got a huge problem now. And when I say for MrBeast, he has a huge problem, it's because MrBeast probably wants to walk a very fine line. Right? By very fine line, I mean he doesn't want to say anything that will offend anyone on the pro-trans side of whatever debate is being had, right? Because again, just like Sunny V2's video shows, it doesn't matter what you say. If you aren't a full-throated endorsement of them, they're gonna come after you. And MrBeast still cares about his channel, right? He really does. He does a lot of good work, and I'm sure he doesn't want to get himself involved in any type of idiotic controversy. But you can't ignore the fact that Kris Tyson seems to have very, very, very inappropriate desires. And actually, it gets a little bit worse, okay? Because I went through this a little bit. There's another video on the Prism42 channel. And again, he's one of the people that's being sized for the Adrox video, where he was having really, really, and I mean really seriously inappropriate conversations with minors online. Now, I understand the argument of it did not cross a line, but here's the problem.
On June 24th, 2024, 3 hours into a live stream, viewers witnessed the very moment that one of the most successful streamers of all time realized that his career was over.
That's right. Dr. Disrespect. So, back when the Dr. Disrespect thing was happening, the only confirmation we have is he was having inappropriate conversations with a minor. Now, apparently, according to him, according to Twitch, according to like the legal agreement that they have, nothing illegal happened, much like technically nothing Kris Tyson has said to this 13-year-old child is illegal, but they're both highly inappropriate. Now, again, I'm not 100% what the Dr. Disrespect conversations actually were. I just know that the only thing people can tell me about them is inappropriate conversations with a 17-year-old, which is bad, and he's admitted to it. Cancel him 100%. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying why won't you defend Dr. Disrespect? Like, that's dumb. I'm saying hold both of these people to the exact same standard. If Dr. Disrespect is canceled because he's having inappropriate conversations with a 17-year-old, Kris Tyson is having an inappropriate conversation with 13-year-olds on Twitter. Well, I guess X now, but you understand the point. So there's zero way of defending Kris Tyson based on the reactions people have had to just very recent events. Now, I suggest you go through all of Prism 42's video. It's 43 minutes long. If I have time, I'll probably go more into details on this one through a live stream. But the problem is these two have apparently also I'm going to leave it at that. Watch Prism 42's video. Okay, but it does seem like whatever Dr. Disrespect has been accused of, Kris Tyson has potentially even gone a step further. And unlike Dr. Disrespect, who this was shocking to people because it's not like he was going out there, sucking off for lolicon. Kris Tyson has done that repeatedly. I pulled up a few of the tweets that were featured in Adrox's video. Now, this is not all of them, mind you. I've only got 3 pulled up here. But it's not something that I think the MrBeast brand can actually just continue to put blinders on and pretend they don't know what's going on. And the main reason why is I don't think that there's any way for them to deny that they didn't know that this was what Kris was into, right? Like there's no way of going around that. If you want to say, well, we thought he was joking, we thought none of this was serious, we thought this is all for the lulz. I mean, again, you need to explain what the laws were about hanging up lolicon in your apartment. I mean, or home, or wherever the hell this place was, because that's just fucking gross, right? Like that's disgusting and it's disturbing. And in light of everything else that's coming out right now, you can't get around it. Now, and what's worse is this isn't something that people had no concept of. They had no clue that this was happening because, again, remember I talked about the right-wing person that everybody hates? This is Andy No. This tweet had 30,000. He was talking about the lolicon stuff. And I remember what the defense from a lot of these people was, oh, he's joking. This doesn't prove anything. I mean, that's not lolicon. That's just that's something that would get anybody else canceled. back on old Twitter, that would get anybody else canceled. But yeah, no, it's something that I think needs to be taken very seriously. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of people who have been hardcore defending Kris Tyson need to, become aware that this guy has girl, whatever. I say guy for everybody, by the way, just to make that clear, YouTube. He's 100% crossed a line. And I again, not to go back to Dr. Disrespect thing, but when there was no evidence, I was like, literally, you don't have any evidence to prove it. Story sounded bizarre the way Twitch was handling it too. But the minute Dr. Disrespect said, no, I was having an appropriate conversation with a 17-year-old, not illegal, majority of people defending Dr. Disrespect immediately threw him under the bus because, I mean, that's what you do to people like that. I really do wonder, with all of this stuff coming about at Kris Tyson, having inappropriate conversations with minors, the avid fandom of hardcore lolicon from a guy who uses actual children as models. I really wonder if they will have the same reaction where they're like, okay, no, we have to excise you, and you absolutely not, you're not with us, or are they going to ignore it, pretend it's not happening, and or claim that actually it's all transphobics and they're lying. I wonder which direction that's going to go. Anyways, guys, you let me know what you think in the comments section below. Obviously, this is a still kind of developing story because the video is only a few days old, right? And it's the weekend right now. We'll see if there's any response on Monday to it, but other YouTubers are starting to pick it up too. Right. Today, when I went to look up this stuff for this video, I saw 2 new videos that both had more than 10,000 views, which I understand isn't the most thing in the world. My point is, it's starting to get to the point where other content creators are going to be covering this because it's pretty damn juicy. And I don't think deflecting behind Kris is trans and you're just transphobic is gonna work here, especially not now that it was already tried a little over a year ago. So anyways, guys, you let me know what you think in the comments section below. We'll be following up on this with another live stream, more than likely going to be on Monday at 3 o'clock Eastern. Thank you so much, and we'll see you then.